Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to talk about a book I've mentioned in my Fahrenheit 451 video. I mentioned that Fahrenheit 451 was a book I reread about every other year, and the same is true for another book. That book is Neil Gaiman's American Gods. So join me as I try to cram all my feelings about this book into 3 minutes. American God is, in my opinions, a masterpiece of modern fantasy. It sort of seamlessly blends mythology, Americana, and one of my favorite topics, loneliness and isolation. In the middle of all of this is my boy, Shadow Moon. Shadow is a complex character whose solitude permeates the pages. As we follow him on his journey through a world filled with gods and mythical beings, we experience the depth of his isolation. Gaiman portrays Shadow's emotional detachment from the world, his longing for connection, and the weight of his past tragedies. In the face of constant meetings with gods and supernatural forces, Shadow remains a mystery. Shadow's complex feelings about his wife Laura are present throughout the book, but beyond that we get very little internal exposition when Gaiman describes Shadow's internal world. Throughout the novel, Shadow encounters various gods, and their stories serve as a chilling contrast to his own isolation. All he really had was Laura, and with her gone, who is Shadow? I'm someone who's not a hardcore Gaiman fan. I really enjoy Sandman, and I love American Gods, but his other books I've decided are not for me. But the way he describes Shadow and Shadow's journey has me gripped every time I read it. How Shadow allows himself to just follow along with whatever happens, not really caring what happens to him, but still doing his best. How he slowly finds himself by allowing life to happen to him. Of course, American Gods has a whole host of characters, one more supernatural than the other. Mr. Wednesday is the usual larger-than-life character, sweeping Shadow off his feet and off to adventure, but turning out to be more than he lets on. A lot of characters are sort of, I wouldn't say cliches, but almost. But I think that fits with how gods are portrayed in mythology. I very much enjoy the short stories about how different gods came to inhabit the US, and if I were to believe in gods, I believe they exist in the way Gaiman describes. Forced into life by humans, struggling when our beliefs in them falters. As the book blurs the line between ancient gods and modern society, it forces the reader to reflect on the role of myth and belief in our own lives. Gaiman's exploration of these themes challenge us to contemplate our own experience of loneliness, the masks we wear, and the search for meaning in a world that often feels disconnected. It's not only Shadow who's lonely. Every god we meet seems to have a deep feeling of disconnection and loneliness, cut off from their old ways when they used to be worshipped and revered. So, American Gods is a captivating and introspective journey into the realms of myth, loneliness, and self-discovery. Shadow Moon finds his way, so maybe we can too. All in all, I do agree with some other reviews saying that the book is a bit too long. There are areas where it does drag on, but I feel like this is part of it. Sometimes the world stops, only to speed back up and sweep us back up. So the sort of quote-unquote boring parts serve a very distinct purpose. So now I want to hear what you think. Have you read The American Gods? What did you think? If it was written now, I would for sure think that AI would be more involved in this story as sort of a new god, just like television and media. What do you think? And remember, if you find this review insightful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content about finding your own path.